Hey, so I am here with a video that I rarely ever do, but I decided to do a reading vlog because I am going to be reading Christmas books for the first time. And I just thought that since this is like a monumental occasion for me, why don't we vlog it? I think when I'm reading a lot of books that surround a certain theme, it's kind of suiting to do a reading vlog about them. And so that's why I came up with the idea to vlog myself reading Christmas books. So hopefully this vlog will be good. I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm not great at doing reading vlogs, but yet I'm still doing it. So we'll just see how this turns out. So why don't I just show you the books that I'm going to be reading. So the first one I have, this is the first one I'm going to be starting with, and that is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This has been very much an anticipated book for me, and it came out the end of October, so I still haven't read this book, which is so insane because I've been waiting to read this book. However, I am kind of glad I left it for December because this is actually a Christmas themed book, so it's more suiting to read during this month. This one is a ghost romance, which I have been wanting to read a ghost romance for so long, but I haven't come across any books that have that kind of dynamic in it until this one came out, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to read this one so bad because it is a ghost romance, so I think it'd be super cute. And apparently we are following the ghost of Christmas past, and he is assigned to help this girl whose life is supposedly falling apart, but from what I've heard, neither of them know why he needs to help her until it's eventually revealed. And so maybe this one will have a plot twist in it. I don't know. It kind of sounds like it will. It sounds like the romance is going to be super cute as well. So I'm so excited to start this. I haven't started it yet. I am going to pick it up today. Today, though, has been a filming for YouTube day for me. And days like this for me are long. It takes a lot of work to get these videos filmed. And I have to edit a video after I end this clip right here. So I'm a very busy girl. This is a busy day for me. And so for that reason, I'm not going to stress about not picking this one up and not reading a lot of it today. My goal for today is to read about 50 pages. I think that'll be super doable. I'll probably end up picking this up tonight. And if I do, and when I do, I will update on how I'm feeling about it. I'm not too stressed though, y'all. I've already reached my reading goal for this year. I really don't need to read any more books this year at all, but I mean, I'd still love to pick this up. So this will be my first book for this vlog. Let's talk about the other two books. So these two books are by the same author actually, and they're both a part of the same series, which I did not know until recently. Originally, I was just going to read this book, which is Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn, until I found out that this is the second book in a series actually. It says each book can be read as a standalone. They each follow different characters, but I would prefer to read even a companion series in publication order. And so for that reason, I also have How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, which is technically the first book in this series. So after Good Spirits, I am going to read this book, and then I'm going to continue on to Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. And I'm really excited to read these because I've only ever read one other book by this author, and that is Till Summer Do Us Part. And that is definitely a book that's on my top 10 of this year list. And so I do want to read more by this author, and I have a good feeling these books are going to be great. From what I remember in Till Summer Do Us Part, her writing is so freaking funny. It's hilarious, and so I can probably expect the same kind of vibes in these books. I know these are contemporary romances, and they revolve around Christmas, and actually, I kind of think both of these are enemies to lovers. So they should be good. We'll see how they go. So yeah, this should be an exciting few days of reading for me. I am most likely going to be putting this vlog up after Christmas, probably in January, because I'm a slow reader. I'm not going to get all these books done in time for Christmas. As I'm filming this right now, Christmas is exactly a week away, so that's just not going to happen. I unfortunately can't read 3 books in a week. I wish I could, but I can't. So most likely this vlog will be coming out after Christmas in January, but it is what it is. I'm still going to do this vlog, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Hopefully it's entertaining. I don't know, but I'm going to try my best to put a lot of effort into this. However, I will say that this is not going to be the usual setup for this vlog because I'm only filming on my DSLR camera because I just got done filming videos for my YouTube. And so this is not going to be the regular setup. Most of the time I am going to be filming on my phone. I'll probably be looking like a slob because I'll be makeupless in my pajamas because that's just how my daily life goes. And I'm not going to be all glammed up every day, not even to do a reading vlog. So hopefully that's okay. But yeah, anyway, now I'm rambling. I will be back with my update on how I feel about Good Spirits once I finally read it tonight. So I'll see you then. I was not kidding when I was saying I'm gonna look absolutely crazy throughout the rest of this vlog because I'm in my PJs and my hair is a mess. But I mean, it is what it is though. It is what it is. But anyway, I have read the first 2 chapters of Good Spirits and it is off to a great start. Oh my god, I just know I'm gonna love this. I'm saying that like hesitantly because I don't want to have too high of expectations in case I am disappointed, but I just have a good feeling. This is so cute so far. I have chuckled quite a few times throughout these first 2 chapters. B.K. Borison's writing is so funny. I remember laughing a lot as well when I was reading First Time Caller. Like, I love her writing style. I'm really loving the heroine. Her name is Harriet, which is such a beautiful name. I love that. She's so funny. She has a great sense of humor. And we have already been introduced to Nolan, who is the ghost in this book. And he has shown up unannounced in Harriet's living room, and she's obviously like, oh my god, like, who are you? How did you get in here? And he's like, oh, I'm the ghost of Christmas past. And she's like, what? Of course she's like, what do you mean you're a ghost? Like, her reaction is very, very realistic, and already their banter is so cute. She tells him, if you're a ghost, like, do something ghostly, and he's just like looking at her like, what the frick are you talking about? Like, he's like so bewildered by her. It is, oh, the relationship is so cute so far, and I'm only on the 2nd chapter and already they're having chemistry. I love their banter. I really love how Nolan is Irish. He was Irish in his past life, and so he has kind of an accent. I love that so freaking much. Oh my god, this is so cute. This is so cute. I'm excited to keep on reading. I'm only on page 20 so far, but I'm gonna keep on reading right after this clip. I just had to update already because I'm already like taken by this book. Oh, also something really funny. She asks him, well, if the Ghost of Christmas Past has this whole organization, like, let me speak to your supervisor. She literally just became a Karen. She literally said, let me speak to your manager. So freaking great. It's so great. And he's, of course, and again, he's just like, what? This is awesome. This is so freaking good. So the quality may look different now because I switched to filming on my iPad because my phone storage is all filled up. I need to figure out how I can clear my storage. I have too much on my phone apparently, and so I'm using my iPad right now, which the front-facing camera has really crappy quality. Oh my god, but I mean, this is just temporary. I just wanted to say before I go back to reading, something I forgot to say during the intro of this vlog. I will be going over spoilers while talking about these books because what else am I supposed to talk about during this vlog besides what actually happens in the book? So there will be spoilers for these books. I just want to warn you. So if you have not read these books yet and you want to read them, then like don't watch this video. Or if you have read one of these books and are interested in my thoughts on one of these but haven't read another one, you can skip through this video at the points when I'm reading that specific book. So I'll have timestamps during this video, so if you want to just skip to see my thoughts on a certain book, you can. I just wanted to say that. That was something really important that I meant to mention in my intro, but I forgot because, of course, I'm always forgetful. Anyway, I'll be back really soon. I might update again tonight. I don't know. But either way, I will update when I have more to say. It is the following day, December 19th. I woke up at 5 this morning for no reason. I'm off of work today. I just woke up early. That seems to happen every now and then. I'll just wake up early for no reason and can't go back to sleep. It's annoying. But honestly, It's kind of ideal in this situation because I have an early morning shift at work tomorrow, so I need to go to bed early today. So it actually worked out for the best. I probably will have to take a midday nap today for sure. I can just see it coming. Also, I was able to clear some storage on my phone so I can properly take videos for this vlog on my phone. I got the idea to upload all the videos that are in my camera roll on my phone to my Facebook because Facebook does not have a limited amount of storage. I should have done that a long time ago because I have so many concert videos in my camera roll and like videos from trips and stuff that I don't want to get rid of. So I solved that problem. So that's great. Anywho, let's actually talk about books. Sorry, my brain is everywhere because I am really tired. So let's get back on track. So let's see, the book is right here. I am on page 46 of Good Spirits. Still loving it so far. Of course, I'm not far into it at all, but oh my god, like I said in my last clip, this book is off to such a great start. I cannot wait to keep on reading it today, and because I don't have anything to do today besides read, I should be able to make my way through this a lot. I want to read at least 100 pages today, but I might possibly be able to read even more. And I feel like I'll be able to fly through this book because I'm already loving it so much. Let's talk about some things that have happened since my last update. So one thing I forgot to mention that happened, I think it was in chapter 2, Nolan recognizes Harriet. Like, in his subconscious, he's like, I feel like I've seen you before. I think we're going to get some answers as to why that is later on in this book. I'm like keeping a note on that. I'm keeping a pin on that because I'm like, that means something. Because why does he feel like he knows her? Has he like maybe seen her in his past life? Or I don't know. He's over 100 years old though, so how could he have seen her in his past life? Maybe he knew a relative of hers. I don't know, but I feel like that is a very important point that is being brought out. So I'm keeping that in mind. He recognizes her for some reason. What I found super cool is that the afterlife is kind of like an office, a whole business. So the other side is where all sorts of like ghosts live, like poltergeists, holiday ghosts like Nolan is. We have ghouls, malevolent spirits. Like, it's not just holiday ghosts that live there, it's all types of ghosts. And the afterlife is set up like an office. So in one door there's like the ghouls, and another door there's the poltergeist, and then there's the holiday ghost spirit door where Nolan belongs, and his boss is there. And his boss is super funny because she's like not very cheerful, but she's in charge of the holiday department, and so it kind of conflicts with her title. And Nolan is like, you know what, I don't know why she works in the holiday department. Like, she could be working in the malevolent spirit department and that'd be a lot more fitting for her, but she works in the Christmas department. It's super funny. I love that so much. I can really see that B.K. Borison is trying to set up this world. Like, of course, this is a contemporary romance, sort of, but there is that supernatural aspect to it, and I love how she made the other side look like its own society with all of these different types of ghosts belonging to their separate rooms. I think that's really cool. Something interesting about Harriet is that she has a really hard time standing her ground, and I feel like I can relate to that so much. Unfortunately, I can be a pushover sometimes because I am a people pleaser, and Harriet is the same. She would rather just take a step back and not even try to fight when someone is trying to pick a fight with her. She'd just rather like take the easy route and just give in. Like, she works at a antique shop that she inherited from her aunt, and she deals with a lot of difficult customers. And there's this scene where this customer wants to purchase a music box, but there's a crack at the bottom of the music box, and she tells Harriet, hey, I would like this music box, but I don't want this one because it has a crack on it. Do you have another one without a crack on it? But you know, with antique shops, there's only one of everything. The point of an antique shop is that they have unique items that there are only one of. So there is no other music box like that in the store, and Harriet's trying to explain that to the customer, and the customer's like, but I don't want one with a crack in it. I want this same music box. Can you give me this music box saw a crack in it. And she's like, no, that's the only music box there is. And she tries to explain it to the customer, and she just ends up backing down and giving her a refund, even though there's a no return policy for the store. So she very much just would like to avoid conflict and just take the easy way out and just back down and give in to others' demands. And that's very relatable to me. I feel that so much. I already love her already. She's so adorable. I want to read more about her. So I'm going to read more of this today for sure. And I hope the rest of it is just as great as the beginning has been. Right now, though, I am kind of hungry, and I never eat breakfast. But I guess since I woke up really early, I'm more hungry than usual during the morning. So I think I'm going to just make a piece of toast, maybe, and then get back into reading. So I'll be back in a little bit. I am back after reading quite a bit more of this book. It's still going great. This book is going to be a 5-star. I just know it. I can feel it because I'm enjoying this so much. So I just have no complaints. It's been awesome. So let's continue talking about what has happened and my thoughts on this book. By the way, if you can hear music, I like to play kind of ambiance and like background music through YouTube, and it's playing on my TV right now. I like to listen to it while I read. So this is like vintage oldies music. It's so calming and relaxing. Definitely puts me in the mood to read. So I have that playing right now, and I like, let's just keep it on. Let's keep it on. Anyway, let's talk about this. So I know I mentioned this when I was talking about the summary of this book, but both Nolan and Harriet don't understand why Nolan has been assigned to her, because in the past, the people that Nolan has been assigned to work with are all horrible people who have done evil things and need to address their past in order to fix themselves and make amends for what they did. But Harriet is so sweet. She's so kind. And while they're going through the flashbacks of when Harriet was a kid, and then they visit her at one time when she's 21, she's not doing anything wrong, and so they don't understand why he's being assigned her. And I'm looking at these scenes from Harriet's past, and I'm trying to see through them, trying to pick out what is in these scenes that make it so Harriet needs to address what she did wrong in her past. What exactly are these scenes telling us that she needs to fix? There has to be something there. There has to be something in her subconscious that she's not aware of that she needs to fix. I don't know. There's something within herself that she just needs fixing, and it might not be something that she's done that's bad, but there's something internally about herself that she needs fixing. So I don't know. This is like a huge mystery. Even Nolan doesn't know what this could be, why he's there to help her. I don't know. That's what is really keeping me reading, along with the romance, because the romance is so cute. But that's really keeping me reading, is that mystery. I want to know what in her past she needs to fix and atone for. It's really interesting. As I mentioned in my last update, Harriet has a hard time standing up for herself, and she's always backing down from a fight. Like, she doesn't want to pick fights with anyone. She'd rather just take the easy way out and just agree with them because it's less confrontational. There is this one scene where she does stand up to Nolan because she's really irritated that he's just like appearing into her house using his magic unannounced, and she's like, can you please just use the door like a normal person and knock? And she tells him this, and he's like, okay, and he transports outside her front door and knocks on her door. And one thing she makes note of and she realizes is that she stood up to him and he didn't leave. He didn't turn her away. He wasn't like upset. He was a little annoyed, of course, but he wasn't like viciously angry with her. And that's something that's been a fear of hers. If she were to stand up to someone and not let things go their way, that they'd be mad at her and would not want anything to do with her. And Nolan isn't like that. And she's like, oh, that was a moment of growth right there. It was such a small moment, but I really like that. I really like that. It really goes to show her that she can stand up for herself, let others know what she wants, and someone like Nolan won't turn her down because of it. I really like that. One thing that is interesting about Nolan is that, yes, he can live like an immortal now in the afterlife, but he's not really living because his sole purpose now is to just help evil people try to mend their ways. And so he's constantly working with people who are just like the scum of the earth. And it's really depressing for him. And that's just his path. He can't take any other path. This is his life. And it's really lonely and isolating. He lives alone and he can't form any relationships because he's a ghost. No one can see him except for the people that he is working with and helping. And so he's really lonely. And he says that in his inner monologue, and it's really sad. So I really feel for him because of that. What I find so cute, though, is that he lives in his own house, and to pass the time, because he has nothing to do in his free time when he's not doing his Ghost of Christmas Past job, he likes to knit, he likes to read books, he helps stray cats. He takes in stray cats and he loves on cats, and it's so freaking cute. Oh my god, I love him so much. I love both Harriet and Nolan equally. They're such just like sweet characters. Of course, Nolan is he's one of those characters, he's one of those guys that is outwardly like really brooding and moody and mean sometimes, but inside you can tell he has a sweet soul. And Harriet is just so freaking kind. She's a little spunky, but she is so freaking sweet. I love her so much, and I can already tell that she's going to go through massive character growth throughout this book that I can't wait to see. So yeah, this book is just going so freaking great. I am sad I have to take a break from it right now because I need to work on getting my YouTube video uploaded. That needs to be uploaded by the end of today, so I need to work on that, as well as writing some book reviews for the books I have read this month so far. So I'm going to take a momentary break and then I'll come back to reading this later. I'm excited to do so. So I will see you then. I'm using my Stanley Cup as a tripod and somehow it's working. So I mean, that's convenient. Anyway, I have read more of this and let's just get right into it. I have a lot to talk about, so let's just get right into it. One thing I forgot to mention, I always forget to mention something. Always. That's why I try to write notes. But I forgot to mention in the last clip that I just love Harriet, as I've already said. She thinks about, because Nolan has been disappearing for like 5 days, and she's like, how am I supposed to get a hold of him? Because she needs him. And she comes up with the idea. She's like, what if I just used a Ouija board to contact him? Because he's a ghost. And when she tells him that, he's like, yeah, those things don't work. I just thought that was great. I had to point that out. So because Nolan and Harriet can't find anything in her past that requires her to fix herself, Harriet has gotten the idea that maybe Nolan has been assigned to her so that she can help him and help his soul move on. And that's actually a really good thought. And I am starting to think more as I've read this more that I think she's right. Because, like I said in the last clip, there is nothing in Harriet's past that requires fixing. Nothing's obvious about that. So I'm wondering too if the reason that Nolan was assigned to her is because maybe Harriet's optimistic spirit can help his soul pass on, you know? I think that's possible, and I think she's on to something. She did bring this up to Nolan, and he was really upset about it because he doesn't want false hope. He has been stagnant in the afterlife for so long. He's had no one. He's been all alone. He's just been doing the same thing over and over and over again because that's his destiny at this point, that he's lost all hope that there's anything else he's going to get out of his time in the afterlife. And so he doesn't want Harriet to give him false hope. And so he's very, very mad that she brought this up. And he completely lashes out at her. And this scene was heartbreaking because it just absolutely hurt Harriet's feelings so much. She was so sad. And it doesn't take long for Nolan to feel bad about lashing out at her because he realizes that she didn't deserve that and she was only trying to help him, and he responded by making her feel like she was doing something wrong when it was just out of the kindness of her heart to help him. And he immediately feels bad. He immediately grovels. Oh my god, this man, I love this man. He is broody as heck, but oh my god, he has such a kind heart on the inside. And I love that he initially felt bad and didn't want to make Harriet feel that way, because this girl has already felt so unloved by so many people in her life who are supposed to love her, and to just dismiss her like that, he feels terrible about it. So I'm glad he realized that. This guy is going through so much growth already, and I commend him for that. And I gotta say, Nolan, man, he is totally falling first. This is a he falls first trope, and I love that so much. Like, I can tell Harriet is catching feelings too, but Nolan is realizing his feelings first, and I love that so much. Oh my god, he is everything. And another interesting thing about Nolan that's coming up is that he is starting to dream, feel, and taste things, and these are things he wasn't able to do before while he was in the afterlife, but he's getting some of his senses back. And I have a theory that I really do think it might be because of Harriet and the fact that she's making him feel more alive, because he's growing more attached to her, he's growing feelings for her, and that in turn is making his soul feel alive. So, like, is he gonna be, like, officially brought back to life at some point because he's getting his senses back? I don't know, she's doing something to him. This has to be her doing, and I'm really curious on if I'm right. So I just got done with a chapter that really blew me away. I'm like, oh my god, was not expecting this. So they are attempting to revisit Harriet's past again, but instead of them transporting to her past, they end up in Nolan's past from when he was a little kid. And that has never been done before. That's unheard of with the Ghosts of Christmas Past. They never visit their past while working with others, because that's not the point of this whole thing. But they end up in his past, and he is absolutely rattled by this, because he's there but he does not remember this at all. He does not remember his past life, and it really gets to him. He sees himself with his father and them, like, on the beach, like, playing together, and he's like, I don't remember this. And he recognizes that by the looks of this, his father loved him very much, and he doesn't even remember his father, and this really gets to him. Like, and I empathize with this, because imagine being in the afterlife, but you don't remember the life you had when you were living. That would absolutely break me. That would make me feel so sad. And so I really get how Nolan is feeling, and this just devastates him. Oh my god, this past scene that I read was just so hard to read because of that. I felt for him so much, and I loved Harriet at this time because she recognizes that he is falling apart, and her response is, can I give you a hug? And no hesitation, Nolan hugs her, he embraces her, and they hug for like a long time. Like, he does not let her go. They are just like embracing each other. He's holding her so tight. He doesn't want to let her go. I love that scene so much. Oh my god. Oh my god. I had tears in my eyes because Nolan has been alone for so long in the afterlife, and he hasn't had another person there to comfort him and hug him. He mentioned to her, this is the first hug I've had in, years and years and years. And he's just so grateful that she wants to comfort him like that. And oh my god, it was everything. I loved it so much. They are so freaking cute. Oh my god. I really don't want to stop reading, but I am, because I do have to go to bed early tonight. And even though it's only almost 7 at night, I need to like wind down with some TV. So I am going to stop right now, but I cannot wait to finish this. Or not finish it, because I don't think I'll finish this book tomorrow, but I cannot wait to pick it up again tomorrow. If this ends up being my favorite book of the year, that's going to be crazy. But I mean, it's shaping up to be my favorite of the year. I'm already attached to these characters so much. I love their romance, their relationship, their individual stories. I'm like blown away. So yeah, anyway, I can't wait to keep on reading this tomorrow. So that's all I have for tonight. I'll be back in the next clip. I'm finally giving an update today. I started reading at like 7, I want to say. I haven't read all day because I worked I worked early this morning. And then I came home and took a nap. So hello. I just haven't read a lot today, and I'm so glad I'm finally sitting down to do so. So, this book is killing me. Oh my god. Let me talk about what's happened so far. I'm on page 184. And at this point, Nolan and Harriet have gone back in time again. And they're at this part in her past where Harriet's aunt is at the antique shop comforting her because she was turned down by a boy who sucked. And so her aunt is comforting her through that, and Nolan is there beside Harriet, watching this all play out with her. And the story behind this boy is that at her school cafeteria, mistletoe was like hung up, and the boy brought her under the mistletoe, and so she got the idea that it's because he wanted to kiss her and she had a crush on this boy, but then he ended up humiliating her and turning her down, and she was very upset about it. And so her aunt comforted her through this. And then Nolan and Harriet are back in the present, and he uses his magic to, oh my god, this was such a beautiful scene. He uses his magic to hang mistletoe along the ceiling. And let me read the exact quote this sent me. Let's see, this is what the passage says. Harriet says, "You used your magic," and then Nolan says, "I did," and she asks why. "Because I wanted an excuse," is what he says. And she says, "For what?" And he says, "For this." And then he kisses her. Tears just came to my eyes, because in that memory in the past, Nolan saw how distraught teenage Harriet was that this boy had brought her under the mistletoe and then just didn't kiss her and just humiliated her, and all that Harriet wanted was just to feel loved. And so in the present, when they get back, he hangs mistletoe with his magic and kisses her. It's the sweetest thing ever. Oh my god, that was so beautiful. Oh my god, I love this. So I can't wait to keep on reading and see what happens after this kiss, because I have been waiting for this. They are the sweetest things ever. There's so much pining in this book. Oh my god, there's so much longing for each other. Harriet has now realized her feelings for him, and it is just everything. And also, Nolan is on board with the idea that they had visited his past in order for him to realize something. And so Harriet is now willing to help him figure out what in his past he needs to grasp onto in order for him to help himself and move on. So she's helping him with that. Yeah, that's where I'm at so far. So I'll keep reading this. I have a feeling the next few chapters are going to be great, because feelings are being acted upon right now. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta keep reading this. I'll be back soon. Hello, it is December 21st. My voice is acting weird for some reason. I am on page, I think I'm about 280. I want to say 283. Yeah, I've read a lot already today, which is great. I don't have to work today. I'm off, so I'm gonna have a lot of time to read. Therefore, I plan to finish this book today. I think I can do it. I only have about 100 pages left, and it's only 12:18. Yes, it's doable. It's going to happen. I do need to clean today. Sundays are my cleaning days, so I need to clean my room. But that shouldn't take long at all, so I should have plenty of time to read. And I can't wait to continue reading because, of course, as I've said so many times, this book is amazing. It's still amazing. We'll see if it beats out Lights Out for my favorite book of the year, but it's getting there, honestly. I don't know, I'm not going to speak too soon, but it's getting there. Let's talk about what has happened. Of course, because a lot has happened. I think I've read 100 pages since I last updated, so I have a lot to talk about. So, Harriet and Nolan have been flashing back between her past and his past. I can't remember if I mentioned this in my last update. I don't think I did. I wrote it right here. But, yeah, they're just going back and forth between each other's past, trying to figure out what is in each other's past that they need to like dig into for him to move on. So that's been happening a lot. We get to see, I love seeing Nolan when he was younger, when he was alive, and way back when they flash back to 1902 when he was a fisherman, and this was just a few months before he died, and he's in his suspenders and his white shirt that is like buttoned down, and he just seems so cute. I love it. Put a pin in this. I will mention this later, but during that flashback, they noticed this compass that was Nolan's. And they take note of it. I'm gonna come back to that later. Anyway, okay, big thing happened. Of course, this is a romance book, so I expected this, but they got down. They got down and dirty, and it was amazing. Oh my god, that scene was so romantic. Nolan just loves when Harriet touches him so much, and it's so cute, because, you know, he hasn't felt touch in ages, in years and years and years, and so he's just so enamored whenever Harriet is her hands are a little rim, and it's so cute, and he loves touching her too. Oh my god, I love that scene so much. And I absolutely love how during that scene Nolan loses control of his magic, and he ends up creating snowflakes, like endless amount of snowflakes that are just coming down from the ceiling. Oh my god, like picturing that scene in my head, it just seemed so romantic and magical. That might be one of my favorite scenes in the whole book. Of course, it was so beautiful. Yeah, man, they really got down, and I enjoyed every single bit of it. It was amazing. I wrote right here, Isabella is tired of Nolan's shit. Because Isabella comes into the real world, and she's getting on about Nolan, about how long this assignment is taking, and she's over it. She's like, you're taking too long. Are you growing like feelings for this girl or whatever? Because like, why does she have such a hold on you? And this is like not allowed. He's breaking so many rules. And she tells him that there will be consequences for both you and Harriet if you don't complete this assignment. He doesn't know what the consequences will be for Harriet, but she's adamant, like, you need to get over this. You need to stick with the plan and do what you're supposed to do. But that's hard for him, of course, because he loves Harriet. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Of course, they are on a time crunch. He has until Christmas Eve for her to mend her ways, whatever those are, and move on. And when Nolan is done with this assignment, Harriet is destined to forget him. So that's where this angst is coming so much, and I don't know what's gonna happen. It's stressing me out because I don't want them to be apart ever. I don't want Harriet to forget him. I don't know what's gonna happen. Something has to happen to make him stay permanently. Oh, it's stressing me out. I gotta know how this is going to end. So in a recent chapter I just read, they end up visiting Harriet's past again, and this is the point where Harriet says she broke her mother's heart. And I had a theory on why she thought she had hurt her mother so badly, and my theory ended up being correct because she mentioned this earlier. She's like, I did something really bad that hurt my mother. So the reason she broke her mother's heart is because she decided she didn't want to be a lawyer like her mom wanted her to be, to carry on the family's legacy in the occupation. I guessed that correctly. Like, that wasn't a huge surprise. This poor girl just has so many expectations put on her, and like I've said before, she's a people pleaser. She wants to please those around her, especially her family, but in this moment she was like, I need to decide what's best for me, and she does not find being a lawyer fulfilling whatsoever. And she just feels like there's something better for her out there. But of course her mom is so mad and just like dismisses her, and Harriet feels like she hurt her mom, but Nolan lets her know that you were just thinking about yourself, doing what was right for you, and doing what you thought was best for you, as she should. So I do feel bad for her that she felt like she let her family down, but I was proud of her in that past moment for her standing up for herself, because she doesn't do that a lot, and the one time she did, it absolutely broke her heart. And I think that's why she tries not to stand up to people anymore, and she tries to be selfless, but you have to be selfless. You have to do what's best for you, and she did that, but she feels bad about it, and it's so heartbreaking. So after that scene, they get back to the antique shop, and Nolan's alone in the storage closet, and what do you know? He finds his compass in the storage closet that we saw in his past. His compass lives at the antique shop, and Harriet has been wondering if the reason that he is like tethered to her is because there's something in her antique shop that belongs to him, and she was right because his compass is there. But he sees the compass and he just like disregards it and doesn't even want to think about it and notice it's there. And I'm pretty sure that's because he doesn't want to move on. Before he wanted to move on to the next phase of the afterlife, but now he just wants to be with Harriet, and moving on means that he will have to permanently leave her. And so he wants to delay his moving on because he doesn't want to leave Harriet. He wants to stay with her because he loves her. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Like I said, I feel like they're going to be together for sure. They have to be. I just am wondering how they're going to make that happen. And I took a picture of this page because I loved this quote so much. This comes from Nolan, and he had been telling Harriet how at first he found her really insufferable because she wore like ridiculous pajamas and she had like a smart mouth. He just was not feeling her at first. But he tells her this, and I thought this was beautiful because it's something that I really took personally as well. So I'm going to read this. He says, "You make the choice, Harriet. Every morning you wake up and you pull on one of your colorful sweaters and you wander down a crooked street smiling at everyone you see. You choose to be in a place where you can honor your aunt's memory, where you're doing work that feels important and good. You made that choice, and despite the disappointments life has handed you, despite the disappointment and the hurt and the heartbreak, you choose to be these whimsical, colorful things." I thought that was so beautiful because it just shows that he is one of the few that really appreciates her for the person she is, whereas people in her life, even her family, have wanted her to be something else to please them. He loves her for who she is, and that really stuck with me because I am also a person who loves colorful things, whimsical things, like Nolan was saying. And so for that reason, I feel like me and Harriet are a lot alike, and that's why I'm loving her so much. And I kind of choose to incorporate, color into my style and my hair and everything because that's what I love. That's what makes me feel good, even if there are like people in my life who don't really love the path that I've gone down. It's what I love, and I choose that even if it can lead to heartbreak, which it has in the past. It's something I've gotten over, but I just feel like this just spoke to me so much, and I did cry when I read that passage. It was so sweet. Oh, I love Nolan so much. Anyway, I guess that's all I have to say so far. I'm going to just continue reading right now, and I think I'll update once I've completely finished this book. Unless something comes up that I want to mention right away while I'm reading this, I'll update when I'm finished. So I'm gonna go on and read some more, and I'll be back a little later. I look like I'm getting ready to tell a ghost story right now. This is the light from my iPad, but it's giving me some lighting, I guess. Okay. Alright, well anyway, I have some great news. I finished Good Spirits. My god, this book was just incredible. Did I say one bad thing about this book while doing this vlog in past clips? No, because there was not one bad thing. This was perfection. This was perfect. I loved it so much. Oh my god, I have so much to say about it. I am so glad that I ended up including this book in this vlog because it's become my favorite, and I just have so much I want to say about it, about everything that happened. Oh my god. So let's talk about the ending of this book. So we'll start with where I left off. So Harriet's mom she has this annual holiday party for her company, and so she invites Harriet every year to it, not really because she loves her daughter, because she really doesn't. She invites her to keep up appearances that they're a happy family. Really lame. And so Nolan invites himself, and he goes with her just so she won't be alone, which is really sweet. And they end up sticking it to her mom, and it was the best scene. Nolan hates her mom, as he should, and she called her a fool for always putting her daughter down, and we applaud him for that. Good job. That's boyfriend material right there. And Harriet finally stands up to her mom and tells her that she doesn't feel bad for doing what she wanted to do, quitting being a lawyer, because that wasn't for her, and she's happy that she did that, and she doesn't feel like she has to try to impress her mom anymore. She's just done trying, and that is such growth for her, because she had always been so adamant about pleasing her family most of all, and she just doesn't care anymore. And I love her. She's a queen. She really did that. I'm so proud of her. Oh, the scene where they are making love was so beautiful. Oh my god. And during that scene, what was so precious is that she is just saying in her inner monologue how she just does not want to forget him. She's like telling herself to remember him. Oh my god. I felt that. She really, of course, doesn't want to forget him, and especially in that moment, that was such a precious moment between them. Oh my god, I was feeling the feels for sure. So they end up going to Nolan's past on the day of his death, and this scene was so intense because I don't know if I mentioned this before. I can't remember, but the way Nolan died is that he was at sea, on his boat, and a storm came and knocked him overboard, and he drowned. And so they're at the time of this storm, and Harriet ends up getting knocked overboard and going into the sea with Past Nolan, who is currently drowning. And Past Nolan sees her, and Harriet is reaching out to him trying to save Past Nolan, but of course she doesn't, and her and current Nolan end up getting pulled back to the present. But here's the thing, and this was insane. Current Nolan, Ghost Nolan, remembers now when Harriet had reached for him, trying to save him while he was dying. It all came together, because I was mentioning in the beginning of this book that Nolan feels like he's seen Harriet before. Like, he recognizes her, but he doesn't know where he's seen her before. That's where he saw her. Right before his death, he thought she was an angel, but it was actually Harriet. And we're going to come back to that later. But it was super sweet when they gave each other presents for Christmas. Nolan gives her a scarf that he made. He says he got it in the 70s, but he's lying, and Harriet knows he's lying. She's like, yeah, he made this. It's super sweet. He gave it to her. And Harriet's present did not come as a surprise, because I knew this was going to happen when this scene came up. She gives him his compass that has been sitting in the storage closet at the antique shop, and she reveals that she knows this is the compass that they saw in his past. And he tells her that he's been avoiding acknowledging the compass because he doesn't want to move forward and leave Harriet. But it turns out once she gives them this compass, he is being pulled away from her. His magic is forcing him to leave, and they are separated, and that's it. That's the end. Or is it? No, it is not. Of course it's not. But at that point, they were like, this is it. We're never going to see each other again. But Harriet does not forget Nolan. And what's also interesting is that Sasha, her coworker who had seen Nolan before when he stopped by the shop, doesn't forget him either. And so that's when I'm like, this isn't over. This means something. And it did. So Nolan is now with Isabella, his boss, in a waiting room in like the afterlife. And Harriet's aunt is there as well. And that shook me. I should have saw this coming, because of course her aunt had died. So she'd be in the afterlife too, right? And she was. And so Nolan got to meet her, and it's revealed that he has two choices with how he wants to proceed in the afterlife. He can either have his soul pass on and rest, or he can remain with Harriet. And the reason this is the case, it turns out that all this time, we weren't just going into Harriet's past because there was something she did wrong. No, no, no. We were seeing glimpses of Harriet's past and Nolan's past because these two were meant to be together. That's why all of a sudden Nolan can now go into his past when he couldn't do that before. And it turns out there were so many similarities between their past that were pulling them together. For one, in the first flashback, Harriet is holding a boat as a little kid and Nolan is a sailor, and Nolan is constantly looking out his window over at the sea at his home, and Harriet was always doing the same thing, looking out at the sea at her home as well. And they both made the same jam as kids. Their souls were always tied together, even though they lived in separate timelines. The whole reason that Nolan died and drowned and saw Harriet before he died was because he was supposed to die so that he could come back as a ghost of Christmas past and get assigned to Harriet, and then they can finally be together because they're soulmates. Oh my god, that took me out. Oh my god, this was the best ending ever. Everything just came together, and every detail we saw of Harriet's past and Nolan's past finally made sense. Oh, it's so beautiful. These two are literally soulmates. I cannot. They are so freaking precious. Oh my god. This book was everything. I must reveal that it beat Lights Out for my favorite book of the year. That is huge. I'm not even kidding. I know this is fresh in my mind and I just read it, but it's beat Lights Out. That's insane, but this book was everything to me. Oh my god. It's so good. I literally put in my notes right here, best book of the year, exclamation point, because it is. How am I supposed to move on from this? I don't know. What am I gonna do? I'm already kind of thinking about starting How My Neighbor Stole Christmas tonight, because tomorrow is a filming day for me, and so I won't have a lot of time to read tomorrow. And the day after that, I work that day and I have long hours, so I'm like, I won't be able to read a lot for like 2 days straight. And so I think I'm gonna start this at least and read the first few pages, even though I feel like it's too soon to read this after just finishing this amazing book. Like, this is still so fresh in my head right now. I'm gonna have a hangover because of this, but a book hangover, but I should really start this, so I might do that. I think I will. I think it goes without saying, 5 stars. 6 stars, actually. This is a 6-star book for me. This will be a favorite of all time. B.K. Borison. Girl, I love you. Thank you so much for writing this, because this just meant the world to me. Oh my god. Okay, I guess that's it. I will be talking about this more in my December wrap-up, where I'll have more like put together thoughts. That was just a jumble of words, just me gushing over it, but yeah, I'll be talking about it more later on in my wrap-up, and I'm excited for that. So I guess I'm gonna go, and the next time I update will probably be tomorrow, so I'll be back later. Also, we need to appreciate this art that is in the very beginning of How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. Oh my god, I love how Megan Quinn's books have artwork throughout them. If I can find another one. Oh, there was one. I want to know what this scene is about. What is happening right there? I guess I'll find out. But yeah, there's more. I've been like flipping through it, looking at the pictures. Oh. There's one. Oh, that one's pretty too. So yeah, I love that, because not a lot of books do that, where they just have illustrations in them. So that is really cool. Hello, so it is the 22nd. Yeah, I am so full. I just ate a huge burger and I am stuffed, but it was good. It was really good. Anywho, I did read some of How My Neighbor Stole Christmas last night. I am on page 56. So I got through the first 4 chapters. This is good. This is good so far. As I expected with this one, it's really funny because Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn was hilarious, and I think that's just her writing style, and I really commend her for really writing humor so well, because that is not easy to do. Like, sometimes authors will try to be funny in books and it just comes off as cringe. No. Megan Quinn can do humor, so this is awesome so far. We have a grumpy MMC in this one. So, as you can see from the title, I think this book is kind of inspired by How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And so it makes sense that the male main character is a grump, and I really like that. And so, now that I've read a little bit of this, the basic premise of this one. So there's this girl named Story, which I love that name. It's so cute. She and her sister have come to this town called Crinkletown, which is a town that is inspired completely by Christmas all year round. It's really cute. And they have to be there to take care of her aunt who just broke her hip. And Story and her sister have visited the town throughout the years because their aunt lives there, and so they've got to know other people in the town, have made friends with them. And our male main character, Cole, he does not like Story. They are enemies for sure. They do not get along very well. They never got along well as kids, so yeah, they don't like each other so much. So I can tell this is going to be an enemies to lovers for sure, and that's where we're at right now. Oh, and there's this annual Christmas competition where the winner is chosen based on how, like, I guess, festive they are. And so her aunt competes every year, but because she broke her hip, she can't do it this year, and so she begs Story to enter the competition in her honor. And so reluctantly, Story is going to compete in this competition, and Cole decides to compete as well so that he can hopefully win against Story. So that's where we're at right now. I am really excited to keep on reading this. I am still in a bit of a book hangover from Good Spirits because, I mean, that book just killed me. It was so good. But I'm still going to give this book a fair chance, and at least the book has been entertaining so far. So I have good high hopes for this one. I will continue reading this one later today. Like I said yesterday, I am filming today. That's why I have my makeup on finally, and I have a shirt that's on a t-shirt on, which is nice. So I will be filming today and then reading later. So once I've read a little bit more of this, I will come back and give an update. Hello, you want to be in the video, or you just want love? How about both, huh? So it is what day is it today? It is the 22nd. First update of the day. It is currently 8:03 a.m. So I woke up early again today, which isn't a big deal. I'm like not too tired, but I am a little groggy. I definitely need more coffee. I need to get on that. I've already had 1 cup. So I've read a little bit more of this book, and it's going good still. What I'm loving about this book is that it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just one of those books that is just plain fun. Not too emotional, except the fact that Cole's parents are dead, and, you know, that's a whole plot line going on right now. But other than that, this book is just really funny and just fun. Just different. I'm really enjoying it. So let's talk about what has happened since I last updated. Do you need to be held? I guess so. Okay. Alright. So what finally convinces Story to just go through with doing the competition is that her aunt is like, you don't do anything exciting and fun anymore. Your life is like so boring. Like, you need to live a little more and take opportunities. And that got through to her because Story recognizes that her life has just been really stagnant since she's been an adult. She's really focused on work and just her individual life, and doesn't like go out and take risks and opportunities. Her life has just been very like routine, and she agrees with her aunt. She's like, I need to do something different. I need to participate in a new experience. And so that convinced her to do the competition, which is really good. I really like that she's putting herself out there. And so it's revealed that Cole doesn't like Story because she said that she hated this town 10 years ago, and that's why he thinks she doesn't deserve to win the competition. Excuse me. This is not the time to bite, sir. It's ridiculous. Anyway, he thinks she doesn't deserve to win the competition because she apparently doesn't like this town. She said that to him 10 years ago, and the timing where she said that to him was really bizarre because he was, I think, on the front porch steps of his house, having just found out that his parents died, and Story comes up to him and sits next to him, and she's like, oh my god, I hate this town. And that just really set him off because he was already like at the worst moment of his life, and he loves this town, and so he's been angry with her all these years because of that. Okay, this has gone on long enough. No, Deku. Now I keep losing my train of thought. Anywho, what I was saying. The thing is, though, that Story was never aware that his parents had died. She just found out, I think it was her aunt who told her, yeah, his parents died 10 years ago. And she was like, oh, I never even knew that. So she wasn't aware at that time that his parents had just died and she was being a little bratty. So it does seem like there's a little bit of a miscommunication going on here, which I don't like, and that is bothering me a little bit because I hate miscommunication. But eventually I'm sure it'll be revealed to her how he was feeling that day when she was just going off about how stupid this town was, when he was at his lowest moment and she was really pissing him off. I'm sure that conversation will come up at some point. We'll see what happens from there. So the competition has started. The first one was the eggnog competition, and Story gets the idea to use her great aunt's infirmary to her advantage to gain sympathy from voters. And this is so sly of her. So like, I don't know how I feel about that, but it is smart because her aunt she has a broken hip and she's in a wheelchair, and while the competition is going on, her aunt is over in the corner in the wheelchair looking all feeble and like on death's door. And it actually works because it helps her win the competition. It is, oh my god, it is so wrong but so funny. And Cole's alter ego is Snow Daddy, because his normal self is a grump, but his friend Max is like, you need an alter ego during this competition to show your holiday spirit, and so his alter ego is Snow Daddy. That's his festive alter ego, and it is so funny, like Snow Daddy. How perfect is that? So during the second competition, it is an upcycling competition where the competitors are to use recycled items to recreate a Christmas movie scene. That part was throwing out a whole bunch of Christmas movie references that I didn't get because I have only seen probably like 2 Christmas movies in my entire life. So I'm like, I don't know what is being talked about here. I don't get it, but that's okay. So Story does an emotional scene from a Christmas movie that really has an impact on the audience. She uses her grandma on stage again to gain sympathy. She's like singing a heartfelt song to, I said her grandma again, to her aunt. She sings a heartfelt song to her aunt, and that really makes the audience emotional, as was expected. Cole absolutely stole this. There was no way he wasn't going to win. His friend Max comes up with this idea to do a scene from The Grinch, but make it like a Thunder from Down Under inspired thing, because the main judge of this competition is really into the Thunder from Down Under, and so they incorporate the Grinch with, you know, kind of like a male stripper kind of situation, and it is everything. That is what this picture was from. Remember, if you can recall, I was like, what scene is this picture depicting? Because I want to know what's going on here. Let me see if I can find it again. It should be right here. This picture, I'm like, what is going on here? That was what was happening. It was a Grinch inspired Thunder from Down Under scene right there. Oh my god, it was so funny, especially because Cole and all of the people in the town know this, that Cole is a lot more reserved. So for him to like go up there, basically nude almost, and just like doing this whole dance and really just embracing the Thunder from Down Under Grinch inspired thing going on. It was so great. So I love that scene. It was so funny. And I think honestly he did deserve to win that one because that was too good. So right now I'm on page 147. My goal today is to maybe read like 50 pages more. I'd be down to read more if I can, but I do work today and I have a long shift today, so reading is not a priority, but I will try my best. I will say though that there's not really a lot of romance in this yet, which I like because I think this is shaping up to be a slow burn. And I like that. I love the banter that's going on with Cole and Story so far. Oh my god. Their comebacks with each other are just so good. The writing in this book is just so on point, so funny. It's just so great. Anywho, I guess I'll go and I will update when I've read a little bit more. Hello, so it is Christmas morning. I'm just here at home. Didn't go out at all, which is I prefer because I don't like being out of the house during holidays. With the crowds and the traffic, so I'm glad to just be here. Of course, I'm out from work today because my shop is closed today, so that is awesome. So I literally have all day to read. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I just want to take it easy because it's Christmas. Like, I just want to relax. So I'm just gonna read all day. I think that sounds like a good plan. And I have a lot of catching up to do because I have not read a lot these past few days. I'm still on How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I've been slacking off, so I need to catch up on this. I didn't update yesterday. I did read a little bit yesterday. I just didn't have any time to do an update. But I did read about like 50 pages yesterday. Right now, I'm on page 215. I would love to finish this today. I think it's possible, but I really, really, really have to be reading all day to finish this, but we'll see. How about I talk about what's been going on with this plot? So they had I think this is their third competition, where they have to do a elaborate light display on their house, and the best light display wins. So Story ends up sabotaging Cole's light display by taking out one of the bulbs, and so he doesn't win this one. And she doesn't win either because her sister made their light display look too basic and boring. So none of them won that one, but Cole does know that Story is one who sabotaged his light display, so she was caught. It's also revealed that Cole had a crush on her in the past, which doesn't surprise me. He did have a crush on her when they were kids. I think that's really cute, and his friend Max brings it up to Story, and she's like, oh really? So that's really, really cute. I love that. And Cole has this plan where he's trying to make himself look like the good guy by being the one who is trying to pursue Story, but she keeps turning him down, so she looks like the bad guy. And he's telling the town this so that he could gain sympathy votes. It's so freaking awesome. And this is where I know there was a fake dating plot in this one. This is where the fake dating is coming into play now. Finally, Story agrees to go on a fake date with him to now make her not seem like the bad guy who is turning him down. So now they're equal. So they're on this fake date. The town has this couples event, so they're at that. And so people are seeing them out and about and are thinking they're dating when they're not. And of course, they're bickering a lot during this date, as they have been throughout this whole book. It's interesting though, because during this fake date, the town ladies are like with them, and they comment on the fact that Cole's parents died, and Cole completely like shuts down. It's really sad, and I feel like at this point, Story is finally seeing his vulnerable side. He just shuts down, won't talk to her, won't even fight with her. And she's like, I liked you more when you were fighting with me. I do not like this side of you where you just shut me out, shut down, and don't talk to me, which I can understand that. But yeah, he's going through it right now. So I wonder if they'll talk more about the source of his trauma for sure. I think they'll get there, but this is like the first like inkling of them being just slightly more vulnerable with each other. And this is the scene I left off on. So there's like, you know, parts of mistletoe throughout the town, and they accidentally step under it, and the town ladies are like, oh, you guys have to kiss now. And so they're in one of those situations. Funnily enough, though, Cole doesn't really hesitate. He's just like all into it. He's so casual about it, and he tells Story like, you can tell me to stop, and she doesn't. And so they kiss. Of course it was for show, but I found it very fascinating that Cole was just so casual about that. He's like, oh, yeah, let's just do it. He actually had been very casual throughout this whole date, and I think that really goes to show that he does like her more than he lets on. And Story does like him too. I really love this scene because I think this is the first bit of romance we're getting, which I love because this has been such a slow burn. I can really tell, and I love slow burns so much, and this has been such a slow burn. I'm really surprised. Let me talk about one thing that has been on my mind though. Just a little bit of a criticism on this book. I feel like I get that it's enemies to lovers, and so there's a lot of bickering, but I feel like with the comedic tone of this book mixed with an enemies to lovers plotline, I feel like the two main characters come across as really immature. I keep picturing them as teenagers when they are 28. Just because their fights seem just to be a little bit childish, and they just come across that way. I keep forgetting that I'm reading about full-on adults in this book. I feel like I'm reading about teenagers, and so that's a little bit of a problem, and it is going to affect my reading for this book because I don't want to feel like I'm reading about teenagers when I'm supposed to be reading about young adults, but that's how I'm picturing them because of the way that their dialogue comes across. There's that, but other than that, this book has been pretty good. I'm still enjoying it. It's still so funny. I love Megan Quinn. Her writing is so great, so I'm going to continue reading today. I think I'm going to turn on some Christmas music, which I don't usually do, but why not? I have Taylor Swift's original Christmas CD that I'm thinking about putting in because I never put it on because I have no reason to throughout the year except for like this day. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think that'd be really cool, and then read at the same time. Anyway, I'll update later today and let y'all know how I'm feeling about this. Hello, it is 2 now. I have read some more today. In fact, I think I got through quite a bit. I mean, could be better, but I'm on page 274 right now. I haven't been taking any notes today on what's been happening in this book because I think I have it all in my head right here. I think I'm good. Not a lot has happened. The main key thing that has happened though is that the romance has progressed a lot. I'm really liking that, which is awesome. There's this part where Story was driving through the snow to this shop where she's supposed to learn with the other competitor how to make candy canes for the candy cane making competition that's coming up. She got stranded on the road in her car that broke down in the snowstorm, and so she's like panicking, but it turns out that Cole is on his way over there and he notices her and picks her up, which was really nice of him. And she's like, why are you being so nice to me? And he's like, I'm not that mean that I'm gonna just leave you there. Like, your safety is important, which was sweet of him. So they end up going to this class and doing it together, which is a really sweet, and they're actually enjoying their time together. And Story feels like she's seen the side of Cole that she saw when they were kids, when they were so friendly. I think I said at the beginning of this, when I was reading this book, that I think I misunderstood that they fought a lot when they were younger. I think this book only pointed out like one
time when they were children that they kind of like bickered a little bit, but they never hated each other. Like, they were really good friends when they were kids. It's just now there's been misunderstandings that have caused them to not be friendly anymore. So anyway, yeah, they're getting along really, really well. And while on the way back from this class, Cole finally opens up to her and tells her the reason why he was so pissed off at her right now. And he reveals to her it's because she said she hated this town and was like bitching about the town at the moment where he was wondering if his parents were even alive. And that's not even the main issue of why he doesn't like her, or why he was mad at her, we'll put it that way. The main reason is because she was gone for 10 years. He had just lost his parents. He was all alone, and his friend never came back. He's more pissed off that she was gone for 10 years. That's the whole reason why he was so mad at her and just like fights with her all the time now, which makes a lot of sense. I can see him being mad at her for being gone so long and just like leaving him behind when he was at his lowest. It makes so much sense now. And so he opens up to her and tells her all of that, and she feels horrible. And she apologizes for that. And so a lot is building between them now, and they're getting along again. They still kind of have some bickering moments, but they're getting along really well, and they are both fully aware that they have feelings for each other now. In fact, there's this scene that I just read where they're on Cole's porch just talking more about their feelings for each other. Actually, they were actually talking about the last time they had intimacy with someone, which was interesting. But during that scene, they like kissed for real, and it was really sweet. Yeah, their romance is playing out very, very sweet. I'm a little disappointed that there seems to have been some miscommunication going on here. As I've said before, I do not like miscommunication in my books. It irritates me to no end. And like I was kind of alluding to in the last clip, I feel like I would love this book a lot more if this sort of plot was in a YA book. This is the perfect plot for teenagers. This does not work with adults. I cannot take these guys seriously at some points because I'm like, can't you guys just talk to each other? We could have avoided so much if you had just talked to each other about your feelings. If Cole had just told the story how he was feeling about her and why he was so upset with her from the beginning, and all of this misunderstanding could have been avoided. That's really frustrating, I gotta say. Like I said, this romance it is really sweet. I'm really liking it, but the miscommunication thing, I'm not for that, because these characters are just too old to be having this sort of miscommunication, and so much could have been avoided. And yeah, so that's bothering me. At least the misunderstandings are over now, so it seems, so maybe the rest of the book won't bug me as much. So I'm gonna get back into it right now and just try to read as much as I can today. No guarantees I'll finish it today, but I will try my best to get through a lot of it. So I'll be back later. My apologies, first of all, if you can hear that fan in the background. I don't want to get up and turn it off just to make this clip and then turn it back on again. So hopefully it's not too distracting. But I've been reading a lot, so I'm like, you know what, I need to stop, I need to update because I'm almost about to just fly through this book without updating, which is good that I'm reading so much right now. I'm on page 366. I only have about 100 pages left. Right now it is, let me check my iPad. It is 5:06. So I have a lot of the day left. I could finish this. That's pretty crazy. Literally, this has just been a readathon day for me. Because I just had no plans today. I'm like, let me just read on Christmas. And it's been a nice Christmas because all I've been doing is reading. It's been a lot of fun. I will talk about what's happened. Literally, I'm not even kidding. All that has happened is just smut scene after smut scene after smut scene. It's been wild. It's been a wild few pages. I will say Megan Quinn can write. spicy scenes really, really well. Really well. Like, I'm like, oh, getting hot over here. These scenes were done really well. There is a scene involving a candy cane and making some use out of a candy cane. That was crazy. That was interesting. But yeah, these two, they do have a lot of chemistry together, especially in these scenes. I really have enjoyed them get even closer to each other. And I have mentioned this so many a time, but the childhood friends to lovers trope is one of my favorite tropes of all time. And this is a book that unexpectedly did have this trope. And so that's why I am kind of getting some feelings towards this romance. I did come across another picture, and I was kind of concerned because this picture was in the middle of a spicy scene. I'm like, wait, because I could see the reflection of a picture at the back of the, on the other side of the page I was reading, and I was like, am I about to see a NSFW picture right now? Because I'm like, why is there a picture during a smut scene? I'll show you the picture though. It was nothing like that at all. But I was like, what is the timing for this picture? I need to find it. Okay, here it is. So it's this one right here. And I was like, okay. Okay, that was not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. But see, this is the scene with the candy cane. So yeah, they do use a candy cane. So yeah, this book has been fun the past few pages. I do have mixed feelings on this book. I've enjoyed it. Some parts of it I've been like, this could be tweaked a little to make it better, but it's been a good time. It has been. So I'm gonna keep on reading as much as I can, of course, and see if I can finish this today. I look like an absolute hot mess right now. What is going on here? It is 9 at night, and so I don't look great. But I finished this book, which is insane. I finished this. Oh my god, I just like, I think, I want to know what the total hours I read today, because it has to be at least 5-6 hours. I don't know. I read a lot. I think I read 200. I know it's over 200 pages, close to 300 pages, at least 250. I never read that much in a day, but I mean, my plan, like I said, was just to read all day because that's how I wanted to spend my Christmas, and so I did it, and that's pretty awesome. So I'm really glad I finished this. We got to talk about it, of course. So I didn't take any notes today at all, so everything's just coming from the top of my head. Yes. So let me just think of everything, all the highlights. So who ended up winning the Kringle thing competition? It was not either Cole or Story, it was another guy. So neither of them even won, but honestly, I think the competition started to become less important and their relationship started to become more important. And what I loved is the amount of growth these two had. Like, they really did have a lot of internal and relationship growth within themselves that I loved. Cole really started to embrace the Christmas season more. He really was not into it anymore because he always celebrated Christmas with his family. And when his parents died, he just didn't feel a need to celebrate it anymore because the season just made him sad, which I know is something that a lot of people go through. Those Christmas blues when you don't have a family to celebrate with, or the family that you had died, and so you just feel really lonely during the season, and that's what Cole faces, and it's really, really sad. But what I loved is how Story gave him a reason to enter the Kringle competition, and that reignited his love for the holiday. Even though he initially joined to spite her, she still made him join because of that, and he's like thankful to her because of that. I thought that was super sweet. Yeah, I'm so happy for him. He really came out of his shell. he's a happier person now, and all because of Story as well. So I love that. And Story grew a lot too. She really realized how stagnant her life had become. In California, she just would not leave her house. She was so preoccupied with work. She never visited her Aunt Cindy during the Christmas season anymore like she used to. And coming back to Kringletown and participating in this competition brought back her love for the Christmas season, and she now doesn't want to isolate herself anymore. And I'm really proud of her for that. Also, this part was just ridiculous, but her aunt never broke her hip. She faked it so that her granddaughter, I keep thinking they're her grandchildren, so that her nieces would finally visit her, so they'd have a reason to. And I'm like, that was really dumb. Who would actually do that? Who would fake an injury just to like get your family to come see you? I don't know. That sounds like something an insane person would do, and their aunt doesn't seem insane, so I don't know how I feel about that, but okay. And so we got to talk about the third act conflict. I didn't like it. I did not like it. So the whole conflict was that, and I gotta say, I hate Taryn. I really do not like Story's sister at all. She is so irritating. And she decides that Cole must be manipulating Story by convincing her that he's in love with her in order to distract her from the competition. And she just like decides, oh yeah, that's what he's doing. So she decides to sabotage his light display on his house that is going towards a round of the competition. And Cole sees that, and he's like, oh, Story did this, because he sees footprints going from Story's house to his house, and he's like, oh, she must have done this. And Max had been getting in his head that he thinks that Story is using Cole and manipulating him by distracting him from the competition by thinking they're in a relationship. So like the opposite of what Taryn was thinking of Cole, but Max thought Story was doing that with Cole. And so because that had already been in his head, he's like, oh yeah, Story is using me. And he completely goes off on her and breaks it off with her. And this was childish. He just like jumps to conclusions, and this was another case of misunderstanding, and it irritated me. And I do really love him. There's a lot I love about him, but that was really childish of him, and so I did not like that. That was disappointing. So overall, this book, I was like in the middle of it, I was thinking, okay, it's bumping up to a 4-star. In the beginning, it was a 3-star, but now I think I'm gonna land it at a 3-star because of that misunderstanding conflict that happened in the third act. That brought it down just a few pages, and it brought it down. So yeah, this was good. I enjoyed this. There are a lot of things I enjoyed about this. Great character development. Great romance overall. I did like that it was slow burn. I did have a few problems with the enemies to lovers aspect. It made the characters come off a little childish, and yeah, I just had a big problem with immaturity with these characters and the way they came across and handled conflict and their attitudes. They're too old to be acting like this. So yeah, I'm glad I finished another book for this vlog. Next book I'm going to be getting to is the second book in the series, which is Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. Still reading a Christmas book, even though Christmas is now over, because it's the end of the day, but I really want to read that book before December is up. So I'm going to read that next, and I hope it's better than this was. We'll see. Oh, and Max, who is Cole's best friend in this book, he's the main character of the second book, so we'll be getting his romance. And so I am glad I read this before I go into Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal, because initially I was just going to read the sequel to this month until I realized that Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal is a part of a series, and this is the first book. So I'm glad I read this first. So I got to know Max in this book first, and now I'll be reading about him more in the second book, which I really liked him. He is a very, very sweet guy. He's such a great friend to Cole. I am really looking forward to learning more about him in the second book. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'll be starting that tomorrow. And yeah, another book down. Hopefully tomorrow will be a good reading day. Hello, it is the 26th. I have read today, which is awesome. I did start Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. Off to a good start. This book is so silly. I mean, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas was silly too, but this one is really silly. I think it's because Max is just so unserious. He's just like really goofy, and so that's why this one is like really silly, because he is insane. So let's talk about what this one is about first, and then let me share my thoughts so far. So this one, like I said, it's about Max, who was Cole's best friend in the first book, and his family owns a Christmas tree farm. And this new girl in town, her and her uncle plan to make their own Christmas tree farm right next to Max's Christmas tree farm. So there's some tension there because there's competition. They have met each other at the point that I'm at right now. They bumped into each other on the street just out about town. And this girl named Betty, she had a ski mask on, so he didn't really know who she was. And I believe he was wearing some sort of mask too, because it's cold here, so they're all bundled up. I think he was wearing a mask because she didn't know his identity yet. I can't remember. He must have been. Anyway, let's go with that. And their initial interactions are so silly. They're pretending, he like pretended to hand her a harpoon and a harmonica, and she went along with it. It was really random. Like, what is going on here? What the heck am I reading? But I mean, it was cute. And so she has moved on to the property where she'll be building her own Christmas tree farm next to where Max's family lives. And so he's like, oh, there's someone here on the property. And Max decides to check out who has infiltrated his property pretty much. And so he goes over to the cottage where she's staying at, and he gets hit in the head with a Pepsi liter bottle by her, and is taken to jail, let out easy because, you know, he's not a bad kid at all. So they're like, yeah, you can just go. And now the chapter that I just read, Betty is checking out the Max's Christmas tree farm, and they run into each other and realize who each other are. They hadn't met each other before. And now Betty doesn't trust him because she believes he's stalking her because he tried to peer into her cottage. And Max doesn't trust her because she's the one who's trying to make a competitive Christmas tree farm. So, could this be enemies to lovers? Probably. The first book was enemies to lovers too, so I don't know. But from the initial interactions between these two, it was like so wholesome and sweet and funny and silly. So I don't know where this is going to go. But I am interested to keep on reading because so far it's good. Like I said, I hope it's better than the first book, but so far it's shaping up to be pretty good. So we'll see how the rest of it goes. I'm on page 60 right now. My goal is to get to page 100, so I just want to read 100 pages today, and I think I'll be able to do that. Also, there are pictures in this book as well, and tell me why. This picture of Max. This is my initial thought. Let me see if I can find it right here. Is it just me, or does he look like Jesus? That was my first thought when I saw this page. I'm like, why does he look like Jesus right there? I don't know. That's just what I was thinking, but okay. And also, he looks very similar to Cole. Which the book actually says. There was a paragraph that's mentioned that in here that Cole and Max look really similar, so I guess that's valid, but they really do look similar, because that just looks like the illustrations of Cole from the first book. So that's throwing me off. It's like I'm picturing them as the same person. Okay, I think that's all I need to say. I'll probably be back tomorrow for another update. And I'll let you know what I'm thinking about this book. Hello, so it is the 27th. I have read a little bit today because I did read during my lunch break at work, so I have read like just a few pages literally. During my breaks, I cannot read a ton because I only have 30 minutes, but I read about 10 pages. Yeah, so I mean, progress. I'm on page 110 right now. 112 actually, and it's still going good. Let's just talk about everything that's happened. For some reason, I didn't put these two together, even though it was mentioned in the first book. But Betty's uncle is Max's high school enemy, and that was mentioned in the first book, that he had a feud with this guy named Dwight, who he knew in high school, and come to find out, that's Betty's uncle. And so I can see where this is going. It's like he's going to have a romance with his nemesis niece. And if you're thinking, hey, how is this girl how does she have an uncle who is the same age as Max? Well, it's because her uncle is only 5 years older than her, which is really weird. That does not happen often, but that's the case here. I would be more surprised, but honestly, when I was growing up, I had probably not growing up, but when I was like in middle school, I had a friend who had an uncle who was a year younger than her. Like, he was younger than me, and we were like 14. And I remember thinking, this is so strange, but like, it could happen. That proves it can happen. So yeah, I mean, my uncle's only 15 years older than me, which is quite young as well. So but anyway, so that's the case here. Super interesting. So I can tell there's gonna be a lot of tension, because he's eventually going to be in a relationship with his nemesis niece. And that really brings it all together, because that reveals the reason why that Dwight, who is Betty's uncle, is making this competitive Christmas tree farm, is to get back at Max for what he did. And it's still kind of vague what he did to make Dwight so mad at him. It has something to do with Dwight's high school girlfriend. Max did something to her. That's all we got. We have no other details as to what Max did to his high school girlfriend, who did he did lose her to cancer. So there's a whole plot line right there. I want to know what's going on right there, but not much has been revealed. So that's a mystery. So Max has offered a peace offering to Betty. He went over to her cottage and tried to give her a tin of pretzels and popcorn, but she attacked him again. She's just constantly attacking him and like hurting him. She really does not trust him at all. So that didn't work out, and they're pretty much just enemies right now. And Max said something to her that really did hurt her badly. He said to her that her Christmas tree farm is not going to succeed because it will not have what his family farm has, which is that they can sell an experience. And because that's something unique that they have, hers is going to fail because hers won't have that. And that really got to her, because she had her own business. She had a Christmas store business that did not do well, and that's more because of the location it was in. That's why it didn't do well. But she gets in her head that, yeah, maybe it didn't do well because I couldn't sell the Christmas experience with my shop. And so what Max said really got to her, and Dwight approaches Max and snaps at him for hurting Betty, and Max is like, hey, what did I say to hurt her? And so he's completely clueless that what the words he said to her really hurt her feelings. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, pretty soon he's gonna know the reason why he hurt her, and I wonder what's gonna happen from there. These last 10 pages I read, though it was not a lot of pages that I read at work, a lot went on. So Max is concocting this plan to woo Betty and try to get her to fall in love with him, because he feels like if she were to grow feelings for him, then she wouldn't want to make a competitive Christmas tree farm and ruin his business. So that's his whole plot. It's quite evil and it's really silly, and I don't know, he's just a really crazy guy. So I'm like, well, what are you thinking? I can see why he's thinking this will be a good idea, but I mean, at this point, he doesn't care about Betty's feelings. And, like, I get why, because she is threatening his business. Like, I get why he does not like her right now, and why he would be so ready to manipulate her feelings to get her to like him in order to save his own business. But I just know at some point, because this guy, he does have a really, really sweet heart. He's going to realize the error of his ways, and he's going to want to not hurt her. I just know it. We just need to see more interactions with them together. So I'm going to keep on reading this. My goal is to read 200 pages today, which I think is doable. Right now it is 4:30. I still have a lot of the day left to read, so I can definitely get that done. I haven't read since I got home from work because I have been busy setting up my new MacBook Air. I did get a new laptop because the laptop that I had, and I still have it right now, it is 10 years old. I've had it for 5 years, but I got it refurbished, and it was released in early 2015, so it's just really old, and it does not hold a charge well at all, and I'm so sick of it. So I was like, you know what, it's time to upgrade. I've been holding on to my MacBook for way too long. It's time to upgrade. So I got the 2025 MacBook Air. I am financing that thing because I kind of have to. I'm just going to work my payments into my monthly budget, and it'll work out. But I'm like, I just really need to upgrade, so I did. And I'm glad I did, because it'll also be way easier for me to work on editing videos on there and stuff. So I'm so glad I got that. Anywho, I'm gonna go finally read this because I've been wanting to read it since I got home, just haven't had time. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'm pretty sure I'll update later today when I have some more to say. Hello, so it is almost 9. I have read a lot more. I'm now on page 183, so I'm almost at my goal today of 100 pages, so that is awesome. Let's go over how I'm feeling about this book. Before I go into what I've been reading, this is already better than the first book. Like, by a landslide, it's a lot better than the first book was. And I think I know why that is. It's because Max is the type of MMC that I love. Like, he's just so goofy and fun, and he kind of has that golden retriever energy. He's like a cinnamon roll. Those are my favorite guy characters to read about, and so that's why. Cole is way more of like a moody guy who is kind of like closed off, and I'm not the hugest fan of those kinds of MMCs, but oh my god, Max is my type. So that's probably why I'm enjoying this one a lot more. But another major thing, there are no misunderstandings like there were in How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, because the misunderstandings in the first book is what really brought my rating down. But so far, at least so far, there's been no miscommunications, misunderstandings at all. So that's good. This is going so well. So let's talk about what's been happening. Surprisingly, the romance is actually like really starting now. I don't think this one has been as much of a slow burn as the first book was, but like I don't mind because there's already so many other great things about this book so far. But I'm loving this relationship. Oh my god, it is awesome. These two, they're like the same person, which is so great. I am so into their conversations. The things they talk about with each other are insane. Like, I don't even know how Megan Quinn thought up these conversations, because who talks like this? The thing is that these two both have a problem with rambling. They don't like to just sit in silence, so they feel like they have to like talk and talk and talk in order to fill that silence. And so what comes out of their mouths are just the weirdest things. They're talking about sausages. They're talking about Max's shrinkage. They're like, what are they even what is going on? How does these things get in their head? Oh my god, they're so funny, and they're so awkward around each other, but it's so cute. And ooh, I like them a lot. And even though that Max is like manipulating her so that she'll like him enough that she won't want to screw him over by making a competitive Christmas tree farm. I feel like you can really tell everything he feels for her is real. Like, he is really attracted to her, and you can tell he genuinely likes her. It's like it's almost like he's subconsciously using his whole plan to like try to get him to like her, to save his farm. He's almost using that as an excuse to hang around her more, and I don't think he even realizes that. Honestly, I think that's what's really happening here, because man, he has feelings for her and she is so smitten for him. Oh, they are so cute. I can't wait to see how this romance progresses. Also, interestingly enough, Story is working with, she's the only one working with Max to try to get him to woo Betty. And at first she was like genuinely trying to help him manipulate her so she wouldn't make her Christmas tree farm, but now her plans have kind of changed, and she sees the way that Max like talks about her with like hearts in his eyes, and now she is just working with him just to try and get them together, which I think is super cute. So she's rooting for them, and she's trying to like create these situations where they'll be together in the same vicinity. And so the chapter I just read, they were at the annual, what's it called? The Christmas Cupid. It's like the one day a year that's like meant for couples to like go out around the town. And so Story made it so that Betty would meet Max at the Christmas Cupid, and it's really sweet because Max just wants to show her all the traditions that Kringletown does around this event, and they end up under some mistletoe because there's a bunch of mistletoe around the town, and he's like thinking, you know, I gotta show her the traditions, and he leans in and he's like about to kiss her, and he asks, can he? And she doesn't stop him, and so they share a kiss, and it was super sweet. In fact, there's a picture right here. Isn't that so cute? It's so freaking cute. I love that. So yeah, super sweet. I can't wait to keep on reading this. It's going so good. I have high hopes that the rest of the book is going to be great. We'll see. It's at least a 4-star right now, but let's see if it gets even better. So I'm gonna go, and I guess I will update tomorrow. My plan is to not read a lot tomorrow though, because I do have a midday shift, and I feel like whenever I have a midday shift, it just takes up my whole day, and so I don't have time to read a lot. So my goal for tomorrow is just to read like 50 pages. And I think that'll be doable. Also, I might clean tomorrow as well. We'll see. So tomorrow is probably going to be a busy day for me. But oh well. Hello, y'all. So it is... What date is it today? It's the 28th, right? I have been reading today. I did work today, but I went home early because it was slow. It was a slow day at work today, so I've actually had a lot of time to read today. So I have read probably about 50 pages right now. I'm on page 252 of Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. This book is just getting better and better. It's so freaking cute. And man, this romance is heating up. We're getting there. Betty has had suspicions that Atlas has been using her because Dwight, who is, as I have stated before, Max's high school nemesis, got it in her head that he's probably using her and manipulating her to like him so that she won't want to make the competitive farm. And for a little bit she was believing him because she does realize, hey, he was really mean to me before, but now he's suddenly nice. And so she's like, getting a little bit suspicious. But I'm at this part right now where a bad snowstorm has just happened. It is super cold. It's like 5 degrees there. Betty is in her cottage alone with no heat because the power is out, and Max's place has a generator, so it's heated up. He has a fire going, and he realizes that Betty is out there on her own, and he goes through a snowstorm to get to her. And when he finds her in her cottage, she is like curled up on her couch, all these blankets over her, just shivering, and she is not doing good. Like, she is really, really cold. So he carries her back to his house and puts her in front of the fire and like bundles her up in blankets. He even goes back to save her tarantula from freezing out in the cottage. Like, how sweet is that? We stand Max over here. Oh, I love him so much. He's such a sweet guy, except for the fact that he made up this whole stupid plan to try to woo Betty and manipulate her. That wasn't cool, but I knew he was going to feel bad and change his ways, and he is. And so we're at a, like, there's an only one bed situation. Like, of course there's more beds in this house, but they have to stay by the fire to keep warm. And so Max put out an air mattress for Betty, and he was going to take the couch, but Betty was like, no, like, sleep with me, because she wants to use his body for warmth. She wants to cuddle up with him to keep warm. And he's like, okay. And so they're just cuddling in bed together, and she wants him to take his shirt off so that she can feel his bare skin, so that'll make her feel warmer. And it's super cute, and they're so awkward, and oh my god, I can see things escalating from here. That's where I'm at right now. We'll see what happens in the next chapter, but I think I'm at a really good part right now, so I'm rooting for them. I am. I just know that at some point Betty is going to know for sure. She's going to find out that Atlas was manipulating her in the beginning, but he doesn't feel that way anymore. He has stated in his inner monologue that he isn't just trying to be in a relationship with her to manipulate her. Like, he genuinely has feelings for her now, because he's gotten to know her, and he's gotten to know how awesome of a girl she is. So he likes her for, like, real now. So super cute. These two are so cute. Well, I am going to keep on reading some more today. The initial plan was just to read 50 pages today, but since I've had a lot of time today, more than expected, I'm going to try to read about maybe 50 more pages, and then we'll see how I feel from there. So I'll be back later. Why am I not using my ring light tripod throughout this vlog? Because, like, you can see me so well. I need to stop being lazy and grab my tripod. I know it's not always easy to get to it, but come on, I give you all good quality. I'm gonna take note on that for the next reading vlog I do. Okay, so I have read more of this, of course. I am on page 360 right now, so I am gonna finish this today. It's going to happen, because I only have less than 100 pages, so that could happen. And I have the day off today, so yes. I do need to film today, but I'm only gonna be filming one video today, so it's like a really easy video, so like, I'll have time to read. It'll be all right. Well, let's talk about what's been happening. A lot of new developments in this romance, of course, because we're like at that point where it needs to start developing, and it's going really well. These two have consummated whatever they have. I have never said the word consummated before. I don't know where that came from, but you know, they've done it. They've done the things. And yeah, I'm so rooting for them. They are so cute together. I can't even stand it. Man, these two, I just love them so much. And their scenes together, they're like intimate scenes, they're like everything. Max is just like, he really has no filter, and he is just so ready to just tell Cole and Story everything that he did with Betty, which is like, okay. I wish I could be that open. I could never be that open, but he like does not care. What did he text? What did he text? I'm trying to remember. Do I even say it? He texted Cole and Story. I think it was, Betty sat on my face and I made her come. That's what he leads up with. Like, no other lead up. It's just that. I'm like, oh my god, dude. What I did find really weird though, and I don't know if this is just me, it's just a me thing, I just found this really strange. I just think it's really weird to text your best friend's wife talking with her about your sex life. I don't know, that Who actually does that? And would the best friend ever be okay with that? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of strange. It's not something I would ever want my best friend to do with my partner. Like, I don't know. Let me know if that seems weird to you, or if it's just me. But that made me a little uncomfy. So Max asks Betty out on a proper date, and it was really cute. They just went to a lot of places around town, and it was just really sweet. And I really enjoyed the moments where they're getting to know even more about each other, and getting to know things about each other that they didn't know before. They're just doing a lot of talking, which I really love, because like in romances, I don't just want to read a lot of sex. I want the characters to actually like talk and get to know each other, and in those moments they really are, and it's just super sweet. In the last chapter I read, there was a scene involving a chocolate covered cherry. I don't know what it is about this series and the food play, but okay. In the first book, it was the pineapple flavored candy cane, and in this book, they're using chocolate covered cherries. But okay, that was really interesting. So yeah, Max is feeling a lot more for Betty. Betty is feeling a lot more for Max, and I feel like that's going to complicate things when it comes to his feud that Max has with Dwight, which is Betty's uncle. I really want to see where that goes. I'm looking forward to the part where Dwight figures out and finds out that these two are seeing each other, because they are exclusively dating at this point. They had that conversation. So what is he gonna think? I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of tension coming. I'm really curious to see where this third act conflict goes. So yes, I will keep on reading this today, and the next time I film an update will be probably the last clip of this vlog, and I'll let you know my final thoughts on this one. I think it's going to be a 4-star. That's what I'm predicting, at least a 4-star. So we'll see how the rest of it goes. I have finished this. So happy I got this finished today. I mean, I knew I could do it, and I did. And this is my last book of 2025. That is crazy. I just finished the last book that I will be reading in 2025. Granted, it is the 29th. Yes, it's the 29th. Is it? No, it's the 28th. It's the 29th. I don't even know. After Christmas, who knows what day it is. Today is the 29th, so I still have 2 more days left this month. So I am going to read tomorrow, but I know I'm not going to be able to finish another book in 2025. So technically, this is the last book I have read this year. So that's a little sentimental. So let's talk about everything that has happened since the last time I updated. So I think the last major thing that happened, where I left off, is that this scene was so great. This was hilarious. Oh my god, I was legit laughing. So they're at Max's house, and they're making popcorn on garlands. I didn't know this is a thing you did during Christmas, but apparently you can make like a garland out of popcorn, which is really interesting. And that's the reason for the sprayed edges. It's popcorn on garland. So that's what that's referencing. So they're making it, and Max kind of doesn't want to, like, you know, initiate anything, because he wants to make it known to Betty that he would like to just hang out with her regularly and not just like have sex with her all the time, which good on him. That's very, very noble. But Betty like really, really wants him, and so she initiates, and Max just goes for it, of course, and they're going at it. She decides to wrap the garland around his manhood and you know, have a little play with that. So there's more food play in this book. I don't know, like I said, what is with this series and food play? I don't know. But anyway, turns out his parents arrived home without notifying Max, so he didn't even know they were coming back from their vacation. They enter the house, and they catch them in that position, and Max like quickly throws a blanket over Betty and over himself, trying to like hide what's going on. And obviously these two are naked, and so his parents are like, what is going on? And Max is like, oh, It's, you know, it's kind of ideal to do crafts naked so you don't get like sticky stuff and like craft stuff all over your clothes. So it's a new thing. This is something we do. And obviously he's trying to hide the fact that they were doing some freaky stuff. And then his mom's like so confused because she's like, no, who actually does that? And then his dad is like to his mom, he's like, obviously they were doing something sexual. And then it all comes together. Oh my god. And poor Betty, I really do feel really bad for her because she had to meet his parents this way and she is humiliated. I felt so bad for this girl. And not only that, but they catch they when I can't even say it. It's so funny. I can't just, oh my god. So Max gets up, they're trying to get to his room so they can change. The popcorn garland is still wrapped around his thing. So when he I can't even talk. When he's walking up the stairs, the popcorn garland is like dragging behind him, and his mom's like, "Oh, there's like the garland is peeking out. I think it's attached to the blanket," and she tries to like pull on it. And Max is like, "No, don't pull on it. Don't take it off. It's attached to my penis. Do not yank on it," because that would hurt so freaking bad. Oh my god. It was hilarious. I was laughing so much. Oh my god. Easily my favorite scene in this whole book. I felt so bad for them because his parents caught them doing stuff, but I mean, oh, that was entertaining. That was so freaking funny. So, moving on. We knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. Betty finds out that Max had been initially trying to manipulate her into liking him so that she would not make the Christmas tree farm. The reason she finds out, she's in his truck and he kept the plan sheet that he drew with like stick figures and stuff. He kept that in his glove box and she found it. Why did he keep it? Even the narrator that narrates the beginning of the chapters was like, I don't know why he kept it. That was really stupid. I'm like, yes, that was stupid. So even the book is self-aware, like that was stupid. Why, Max, did you not throw it away? That was really, really dumb of you. But she finds out, and of course she's pissed. She's so upset. She's heartbroken because she believes that Max has been manipulating her this whole time into liking him. And Max is upset because Betty doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. And he fell in love with her. He is so in love with her. His plans and his motivations changed so much. He feels so bad for having used her in the beginning because now that he got to know her, he is full on in love with her. So he has to win her back. And I will say, this man did a lot of groveling. Oh my god. As if I could love him anymore, he groveled. Like, he was begging Betty to take him back. He was trying to make amends, trying to be a better person, and I appreciate him for that because like I said, his plan at the beginning of this book to manipulate her was really douchey of him, really upsetting, but I knew that he was going to have a change of heart and feel bad, and he feels really, really bad. He's like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just talked to her and not manipulate her, and instead talk to her about how I felt about her making the Christmas tree farm. And it's like, yeah, you should have. We could have avoided a lot of complications here. So it's like, yeah, you should have. That would have been the easy way to do this. Like, I don't know what these characters have against just talking things out. No one likes to talk things out in this series so far. But yeah, so he feels bad. He makes amends with Dwight, which was really great. I can't remember if I mentioned this, but Dwight thought that Max had stolen his ornament that he put on the town's Christmas tree. Or the whole idea is that you make a wish on the ornament, and if it's still hanging on the Christmas tree the next day, then that means your wish came true. Well, Dwight's ornament disappears, and he thinks that Max took it because they have always had a feud going on. It turns out that Max's brother Ansel took it because he thought it was their brother's Felix's ornament that he made a really silly wish on, and so Ansel thought it would be funny to take the ornament away so that Felix's wish wouldn't come true. His wish was for a man to show up in leather pants on Christmas for him. really silly. So it was a joke, but Ansel mistook Dwight's ornament for his brother, so he took away the wrong ornament and he felt super bad about that. But to put it all together, what I was saying, Max did not take Dwight's ornament, and Dwight comes to realize that now, and he believes him and feels bad about it. So they make amends, and now that Dwight and Max are on good terms, it makes it easier for Max to be in a relationship with Betty, because Dwight is Betty's uncle. So yeah, everything turned out great in the end. The epilogue was great. They got married. Betty is pregnant, and they actually she was pregnant during their wedding, which was super, super sweet. So I'm really happy for them. This was really, really cute. I am landing on a 4-star for this one. I think I still had problems with characters just not talking to each other. The same issue that I had in the first book, but there was way less miscommunication in this book. Honestly, there wasn't any miscommunication at all. There was a lack of talking and settling things out. And I understand that if Max had talked to Betty about not making the Christmas tree farm in the beginning, then we wouldn't have the story we gotten, but like still we could have gotten around that. So it's just really silly. So yeah, 4 stars. This one was way better than How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by a landslide. Oh my god, I almost should have just read this book like I had initially planned to this month, but I am still glad I read the first book because Cole and Story show up a lot in this book. Like, they are huge side characters in this book, so it is kind of beneficial to read the first book in the series, even though these are standalones, just because you'll get to know Cole and Story even more in the first book, so that when you read this book, they don't just seem like side characters, like they're characters you already know. So I don't regret reading How My Neighbor Stole Christmas because of that, but this one was way better. If you're gonna read any book in this series, at least the books that are out so far, read this one. There will be a 3rd book in the series coming out this year in October, and I will for sure read it. My prediction is that the main character we are going to be following is BKJ, who is the mayor's son. I think the next book is going to be about him. There's been no confirmation yet. I just have a feeling it's going to be about him. And I would really like that because he's kind of the successor Santa Claus to this story. So it'd be really cute to get like a story about a Santa Claus. I think that's going to happen. Either way, so excited for that book. Wow. The vlog is over. I doubt the majority of you have sat through this entire vlog. I think this is nearing 2 hours. My goal is to make it under 2 hours because, oh my god, 2 hours is crazy. So if you watched all the way through, oh my god, thank you so much, because I do not expect that. I mainly just make videos for myself, so that's why I made this vlog. But if you watched all the way through, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it. I am contemplating making more reading vlogs coming up. We'll see how this one does, but I have a good feeling I'll make some more because these are fun to make. I really enjoy talking in depth about the books that I am reading. Well, with that said, guys, I'm out. Again, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Bye!